What's up guys, this is Drop Pop and Rollin'. In today's video I'm going to show you how to get the Aviator dog tag in Battlefield 6. Now to get the Aviator dog tag you basically have to transport teammates to enemy objectives with the transport helicopter, the UH-79. And it is kind of a tough challenge to go for. You're probably not going to get this naturally. Alright, so here is the Aviator dog tag. It shows you how many teammates you take into enemy objectives in a life using the transport helicopter, the UH-79. To get this dog tag, you have to get 15 Aviator accolades, and the Aviator accolade is for transporting 10 teammates to any neutral, contested, or enemy-held objective using a transport helicopter. And to get one Aviator accolade, you have to do it in one life, not one match. Now, to get Aviator accolades can be pretty frustrating. You have to worry about the mobile anti-air tank, the stationary AA thing, enemy helicopters, people with the Igla or the Stinger or whatever. And you also have to watch out for things like this. What the fuck? Here's me going over to drop people off at E on Operation Firestorm, and there's somebody in the stationary AA, and I just cannot get away. So fucking annoying. Or you can have whatever this is happen to you. I got killed by their C-Ram in the middle of the map. This game is fucking terrible. Alright, so hopefully you don't run into too much nonsense when going for these. And let's take a look at a run. I put a little timer up in the corner to see how long these take, and this is sped up by 2 times. Basically, you just kind of have to, you spawn in the transport helicopter and you have to just wait for people to spawn on you. And if you ever get locked onto, pop your flares and just go back to your HQ. I should say you can only do this on maps with the transport helicopter, obviously, but Operation Firestorm you can do it on fairly easily, like I do here. I spawn on the NATO side. It's a lot easier on the NATO side because you get the oil refinery to protect yourself a little bit. When you're at sea, like you can go over to sea there, and the oil refinery will protect you from the AA stuff over on like the mountain. As you can see, there's obvious. In classic Operation Firestorm fashion, there's a tank sitting up on the mountain. So I have a few people that I've dropped off already, and sometimes the people will not jump out of your transport helicopter. During this run, there were 3 people that just really would not jump out, which was okay because one of them was repairing me. That is pretty useful so that you don't die. One person repairing you is very good. So if you have a friend that will repair you, that's a pretty good idea. Or they can just kind of boost it. You can probably boost this with 2 people pretty easily, but this guide is kind of for solo players like myself, where you just kind of hope and pray that people will jump onto the objective. And I also should say that when you drop people off, you get the team transport little indicator, the little pop-up. And it has to be, again, on like enemy-held objectives, neutral objectives, or contested objectives. And you can see, looking at the points underneath the scoreboard, you can see like B is blinking right now. Even though we have it, that means that it's being taken or it's being contested. And then obviously A and D are taken, C is neutral. So B stopped blinking, so I can't go over to B. I'm going to take these people over to C and hopefully they jump out. On this map, A and D, if you're on the NATO side, don't even go over there because you will die probably to, if not the AA tank, you're going to die to an enemy helicopter. Now, this helicopter is pestering us, and whenever somebody's pestering you, like a helicopter, you can kill them. The transport helicopter is pretty good at taking down enemy helicopters. You can kill the pilot pretty easily if you seat swap, or if you have a gunner, they can, if you have to tilt a little bit so they can look like down, but they're looking horizontally, and they can beam the pilot out of a little bird or an attack helicopter, or you can kill the gunner in a transport helicopter. So I think I went over A and D there, which is pretty risky, but I do have a guy repairing me, as I said, and I also had my flares, so it was fine. And I'm getting painted a lot here, so this is actually kind of a challenging transport thing. or like a challenging run. Now these people on B, you can basically just like swing over it and dump people off. And you need to make sure that you kind of like fly up and turn like you're heading back, because some people will see that you're heading back and they don't want to wait for you to go back to the HQ, and they'll jump out onto the objective. It's a really good idea to just hover right above the objective, so when they jump out, you immediately get the team transport like pop up. So this one took me about 8 minutes to get. That guy did jump out. I think he slowly floats over to B. I think I need one more here, and it should, I think it was like 8.5 minutes, something like that. No, it's one more run after this. That guy jumped out but didn't jump on it. I'm getting painted, I'm getting targeted. I think somebody put a soft land down, which is really annoying. Now here is a normal speed. Just cruise over and getting painted, of course. One guy jumped out early, another guy spawns in, jumps out. And there's an Aviator on Operation Firestorm. Again, Operation Firestorm, it's not too hard to do. It's kind of tricky because it's such an open map. Railway to Galmet is really good. It's a big map, so you can kind of stay away from people. And Eastwood, which is the next map I'm going to show. Eastwood is a map I got like most of my Aviators on. Alright, so here is about an 8-minute run again on Eastwood. I didn't finish what I was saying earlier about the maps. So I'm doing this in Conquest. You can do this in Escalation. Escalation might be a little easier. I've tried it in Escalation, but as the map gets smaller, it gets a little trickier, and the transport helicopter is not always available in Escalation. The other maps you can do this on in Conquest would be New Sobek City. I would not even try to do it. I've tried to do that. It is really hard, and this is like the base game New Sobek City. They're going to rework it at the end of 2026, I think. But the base game New Sobek City, a little too small. You get annihilated by pretty much everything all the time. I think that is all the maps. Wrong! If I think of another one, I'll bring it up. But I'm basically just, so I spawn on the NATO side again, and A is taken, so there are people on it. I'm just kind of hovering over it. It's really nice on Eastwood that the spawn points are really close to the HQs. So if the enemies are like trying to backcap you, which happens pretty frequently on Eastwood, you can kind of just hang out in your HQ. And also there are those hills to my right. Like I just took a bunch of people over to E. Those hills are really good. You can kind of just sit back there. You can't get locked onto. The only threat is the enemy helicopter, the attack helicopter, or the transport helicopter. But the enemy attack helicopter, you do need to keep an eye out when you're over here. But basically the main objectives you want to hit are on the NATO side. In this case, you want to hit A, B, and E. C is inside. It's inside the country club. You can get team transports if people actually land inside it, like they have to swing into the door, they have to parachute into the doorway. I would not count on getting a lot of those. And D is way too open. That's usually next to the hill where the mobile anti-air tank, or all of the tanks, will just sit. So they have B. I went over to B. They're not taking E, and A is not being taken, so B is really the only one I'm trying to get people to jump off at. Got a couple there, that was really good. Dump them off, pop the flares, go back to the HQ. Dude, some people, sometimes when you're going back to the HQ, they'll spawn on you and then they'll jump out as you're going back, so then they have to run farther. I don't know why they do that. But this was a pretty solid run. It took a little bit of time. The next run I got on this map was really good, and I'll show that in a bit. But they've taken A. This is kind of good. So whenever all the objectives right now, they're taken or they were neutralized, we just got B. But when all the objectives are taken, there's a really good chance that your team will spawn on you if you're flying around. But the enemies control most of the map, so you have to be kind of careful. But there's a lot of potential for people to spawn on you and jump out of your helicopter just to kind of spread out on the map instead of spawning in the HQ. There's a helicopter out in the middle of the map there. You always need to be aware of the helicopters on like every map, because the helicopters, especially the attack helicopter, can just annihilate you with the little rockets. They can just spam you and you die if they are on target. We're coming up to the 8-minute mark. They're taking A. I'm kind of just hovering. Nobody jumps out. This guy in my squad, I don't think he ever jumps out. Maybe he does. And actually, at the end of this run, I learned that if you die in a fiery explosion, but somebody jumped out and you only needed one more, you can actually get it. Please jump out. None of them jumped out. That's fucking so dog shit. No way. Why? Wait, what was that? Did I get it? Do I have 14 now? I do. I got it. Holy shit. So yeah, that was insanely lucky. But let's take a look at one more run. I get this Aviator accolade done in under 2.5 minutes, like just under 2 minutes 30 seconds. This is in the same match, so you can definitely get 2 in the same match. It's again not tied to matches. Some of the dog tags are tied to matches, like the Deathmark dog tag, that is tied to, you can get 1 per match, I'm pretty sure. But in this case, I fly over to E, and a lot of people are jumping out. I get shot by, I think, an RPG or something. I hit my repair. The repair is great. And I just kind of fly away. I still have my flares, so I don't have to go all the way back. They're still on E. A and B we hold, so E is the only target for me. And another good tip is when you're over an objective like this, you see how I'm just like constantly rocking and turning and going up and down? That is because people get 5 RPGs with the anti-armor engineer trait thing, or like the pathway. And 5 RPGs, if 3 people are shooting at you, they're going to shoot 15 RPGs at you. So you need to constantly dodge. But yeah, in this case, I got a lot of E. I go over to A. They're on A, and dump some people off. I need 1 more, and there we go. Got it. Unlocked. Aviator dog tag complete. Alright, so that is how you get the Aviator accolades to get the Aviator dog tag a little more easily in Battlefield 6. It's pretty hard to do naturally, so you probably will have to, you know, be careful and actually plan on getting it, because it's very hard to stay alive in the transport helicopter. That was actually the last dog tag I needed to get all the base game dog tags. So if you enjoyed that video, if you found it helpful, if you want to leave a like, I would appreciate it. If you want to see more stuff, I plan on making more guides and kind of like fun videos, I guess. So if you want to subscribe to see those, that'd be appreciated. I would appreciate that. And if you want to leave a comment, I enjoy reading comments, so you can leave that if you'd like to. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitch, where I stream sometimes, you can find that link down in the description. Alright, I hope this video was helpful, and thank you for watching.